something I grew up thinking that I later found out that wasn't. So something I grew up thinking was normal that I later found out wasn't was people getting married. Oh man, this idea threw me off completely in my worldview. I really believe people grew up and people developed themselves and people matured themselves to get married. Maybe it was because of my upbringing, but even at my upbringing, my parents barely encouraged me to get married. They did, but it was maybe a sentence or two, maybe a guilt trip or two, but not constantly. They just wanted to help make me focus on my work or get a job, get a good education, get a job, but not too much about getting married. But there is this, maybe Hollywood and movies encouraged me to pursue marriage, and I honestly thought people thought the same way. I honestly thought you grow up, you get an education, you go to work, and you get married. Man, I was blown away when it was revealed to me, the world revealed to me, that people don't really live to get married. And shame on me, or I feel embarrassed. Now I realize, you don't have to get married to live a beautiful life. You don't have to have kids to enjoy life. But I really believe, and to this day, people should get married. And I guess, it's a learning process, that life is tough, life is not fair, life sucks. Getting married is a lottery. Getting married doesn't mean you made it. Getting married doesn't mean you'll stay married. That threw me off. I think it was those romantic comedies that kept me believing that life is happier when you get married. I think that's the catch. That's the hook. That's what got me to getting me married. I watched a lot of these movies, and they just seemed happier, and they just seemed fulfilled, and they just seemed like marriage was worth it, or at least being in a relationship was worth it. But even after being in a relationship was worth it, I believe the next step was marriage. But some people are fine. Some of the people that I know, maybe they didn't tell me point blank that they're not going to get married, but they're living okay. They're okay about not having kids, not getting married, and just seeing the world. And I think that worldview is still not fulfilling for me. I believe everybody should get married. I believe everybody should experience raising a kid. I don't know, maybe that's how I see life, I could see my parents never really disencouraged about getting married, so they didn't really know how to give me advice about finding somebody, just somebody who I could relate to, I guess, in general. But I think the movies helped me realize some direction in my life. I told you earlier that I went through a divorce, but hey, I picked it back up. I just knew I was going to get married again. That's a weird feeling, but I just knew, solid, concrete feeling. if feelings can be concrete, just confident that after my divorce I have to pick myself up and try again, right? That's how much I felt that I should be married, and I just grew up with that. I think I just grew up with movies, Hollywood movies, that made me realize, you should get married, and this will fulfill your life, right? So that was something that I grew up with, that idea I grew up with, that soon after I matured and lived life a little bit more, it's not true. People are fine without getting married. People are successful without getting married, and people are fine without kids. So okay, it's this. I have to what I'm learning from this is I have to learn to appreciate the way other people live. That's something new to me, and it's only developing my maturity of learning how people live and living with others. That's what people get wrong, I think, nowadays. It's like, it's okay to live a differently, and we could still be in the same spot and live differently, appreciate it. You can learn from others, right? If they live a different life. So that's cool. I like that, because I think I am a life learner, and I want to learn from you guys as well. So it just keeps me going when you guys comment, and I can learn from you guys. And so it just helps me realize, there's many ways to live a fulfilling life, and I gotta learn that from you guys. And that's why I watch a lot of YouTubes. I watch a lot of YouTube channels, and because I know I'm stuck in a certain place in my life where I have to work, I have family, this is the place, but there's a world out there that I don't know of, and I need to open my eyes and appreciate you guys this way. And yeah, maybe I'm not wrong about growing up and trying to get married, but I grew up that way. It's hard for me to realize that this is not the primary way to live in other people's lives. So yeah, you guys life surprises me a lot, and I'm still learning that even at this age.